Welcome to the behind the scenes of Highlands. I'm Jack Sommer,
And I'm Kevin de los Santos.
and we're the creators of Highlands.
My name is Pedro Pincay, and I played Elias.
Hey, this is Andrew White, and I played Dakota Owens.
I was directing. Kev and I were both doing cinematography. Kev was operating the camera. Alberto, Kev's cousin, helped with the boom mic and audio recording the first weekend. I handled the audio recording the second weekend. It's a very small team DIY operation. Highlands is a story about two teenagers, Elias and Dakota, who are the senior captains of their high school baseball team in Belmont, California at Carlmont High School. The story is about the journey of Elias realizing he doesn't want to play on the team anymore. He quits so he can try out other things before high school is over, and this impacts his friendship with Dakota, his best friend.
Dakota and Elias, two kids on a baseball team who, just were trying to figure themselves out. It's a really relatable story. Although I didn't play on my high school team, I tried out for it and I didn't make it. But I got to live vicariously through Dakota, who was seemingly this really cool baseball star on his team. He took his sport very seriously, and he took his friendship very seriously with Elias.
It was dope because it wasn't hard to kind of play the character. I felt like we've all been there, I guess, as like young men in basketball teams or in whatever type of teams. Like, really enjoyed the fact that it was a character that was changing, because I feel like even at this part of our lives, or my life specifically, things change and you're like adapting, you're still learning. It should always be like that. You don't want to get caught in like just being stagnant.
We wrote our first feature script in the beginning of 2015, which was when we were both in our last semesters of college. And we didn't end up shooting this until summer 2016. And the idea really didn't come together until spring 2016. And eventually we figured out that we knew we wanted to be something set in high school. And we both have a love for baseball, so we figured it would be interesting to have two characters on the high school baseball team. I'm also a big John Hughes and Richard Linklater fan, who were inspirations for this story as well. It was written with Pedro and Drew already in mind. I knew Pedro through going to college together at New Paltz, and I knew Drew through mutual friends.
Pedro, who I briefly met while visiting you at college. And Drew I had never met. I just had seen pictures on like social media.
Jack and Kev had an idea of creating the short film. Jack presented the idea to me and asked me if I wanted to be involved as an actor. And I said, hell yeah. I never done acting before or anything, but it was definitely a fun experience.
Highlands was definitely my first real shot at acting. It was a challenge. I spent a lot of time trying to memorize it, a lot of my free time trying to memorize it. I downloaded apps and had people help me out with it.
The first location was the high school and the baseball field at the high school.
We got there and it was all good. It was fun. Everything seemed right. I guess as the hours went up, the temperature went up, things started, I don't want to say downhill because this isn't a tragedy, but definitely challenging to say the least.
It was almost 100 degrees. The batteries of the camera did not deal well with the heat, but technical difficulties aside, that first location was pretty smooth. Besides like the camera stuff and how long it took, it went pretty well otherwise.
Yes, I could say we got everything we wanted. Probably my favorite shot of the film, which is like the entrance of the school.
Oh yeah, it's so beautiful.
Beautiful trees and two models walking in the frame.
The story takes place in California. We shot this school in Ardsley, which is in Yonkers. After that, we got some pizza at the spot Pepe's Pizza in Yonkers, which I really like. After getting some lunch and refueling, we headed back to Riverdale in the Bronx, where I'm from and where Kevin and I went to high school. And we met up with some friends. Shout out to Dondre, Hoy, and Hector, who helped us shoot a team scene where they're all running at the same time.
Actually had Hoy play 2 parts here, right?
Oh yeah, Hoy plays the coach as well. Afterwards, we stopped briefly at my home and then got something at Dunkin' Donuts, some culottes to cool off. After that, we drove over to Kev's in Jersey and we shot that afternoon and that night and got some more footage before it got dark. We realized there was no way we were going to get everything we needed in the next day alone, so we decided to postpone for another weekend that summer.
Drew, I hadn't known too well, but he was like my best friend in the film. Dakota, we didn't really know each other like that, but throughout the process of filming and like reading the script and practicing, like hit it off and we became real cool friends. Yeah, that's my guy. And what was great was that we got to play best friends and we were kind of building a friendship at the same time. So which could sound like it could be kind of awkward, but it was like so natural and super dope.
Pedro, being the really cool dude that he was, that he is rather, it blossomed into this cool chemistry, made it so much easier to act. Pedro's like definitely one of the coolest dudes that I know, and super thankful for the opportunity and just being able to make a lifelong friend out of it as well.
That first weekend we shot in July. It was on Saturday, July 24th. That was 2016. We weren't able to shoot the second weekend until about a month later on Saturday, August 20th. Check out part 2 to see how the second weekend of shooting went and hear about the editing and release process.